Hello, welcome to the Minimalist CDC. My name's Chris, and today is another new knife day. So this one, I've been waiting for a while. I ordered this back maybe 2 months ago. I've been searching for one of these for quite some time, and it has never found the exact configuration that I wanted. And so finally, the maker, you may see here, Vero Engineering, did a release of these, and I jumped on the pre-order as fast as I could. So I'm excited about this. Been waiting for it a while. I've not owned a Vero. I've handled a few when I went to Blade Show and was very impressed. And now that I get to finally own one of my own, I am stoked. So we are going to box it today with the Pina Caballero. I don't think I've released any content on this little guy yet, but this guy has been a constant companion for a while, and I am adoring it. So look forward to some content on this coming on the channel soon. But today, it's all about this guy. And looks like we have 3 tape points. I think that's all we got. Okay, perfect. All right, so what do we got? We got a sticker. This is kind of cool. It shows all the products that Vero makes. So we got everything from the Synapse XL all the way down to the little mini fulcrum. Cool sticker. Then we got what we came for. All right, we got. I'll let you look at this. This is how it comes. You see, we got a Synapse Mini Stonewash Natural Micarta. That better be what's in here. And we got this. And what is this? These are a little extra. Let's see. What does it say? Fruit and berry medley out of Italy. Okay. It looks like I got candy. Fantastic. Thank you, Joseph Vero, for putting candy in with my knife. All right. So, out of the box, I think the older ones used to have this embroidered on the thing. It looks like this is, yeah, Velcro. Still kind of nice. So, I mean, if you wanted to use this as a non-Vero pouch, I suppose you could put little ranger eyes or something else on there, but I'm going to leave that there on the thing. Zip. And there we are. We'll get to that guy in just a second. Let's see what else we get. We've got this little card, really thick cardstock. So we got a Synapse Mini, second run, designer J. Vero, M390 Stonewash Natural Micarta, raw titanium, I guess is what the hardware mention is. And then we get this little microfiber cloth. Very cool. Is it branded? Let's see. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it on camera. It's a little ghosted Vero on there on one side, and that's on the other side as well. Very cool. Nice little accessories to have with your knife. But this guy is the star of the show, right? This is the Synapse Mini. So I got to handle a few of Vero's products at Blade Show in Atlanta this year, and sadly, none of them were for sale. It's just for demo, and I really like this little guy. So what we have here is a natural micarta scale, titanium bolsters, M390, and let's see what we got. Some writing on the guy right here. Can I focus? Yeah. Number 929. So it's serialized, so I know exactly which one was mine. Let's see. Anything else? Writing on it. We got Vero on the clip, but let's get this guy open. Oh, that is a delightful little opening action. So yeah, that felt good. For those who don't know, the Veros they kind of got this aesthetic to them, right? Where they have the flipper tab that is, it's not poking out like, let's say, I'll use this as a comparison knife in a minute when we talk about size, but like this little jutting out flipper right here. It's all in line with the body of the knife. And what I really like that aesthetically, you don't have a pokey out piece, and it is designed impeccably where just the slightest amount of force right there breaks the detent and sends your knife out. So it's ready to use. Also, we have this little thing, which you see on a lot of Veros, that has that little cutout on it. And even so much that you see it on, I guess, on the embroidery, it's interesting. Like, I didn't notice it at the first. On the embroidered patch here, it shows the clip side, because that is kind of where the hallmarks of what they do is featured. So you have the clip with the Vero on it, and the bolster lock, and then the square cutout on the blade. So many knife makers would put the show side on this. That's interesting that they go with the obverse side. But what it is a square cutout that is meant as an opening mechanism. So you don't see it on the front side. The front side is clean, which I love. There is no branding on the show side whatsoever. That is gorgeous. And on the back side, Vero is on the clip. He thought enough about his design to not put graffiti on the blade. And honestly, like, this square opening mechanism is enough of a trademark and a hallmark that if you saw this blade, you'd know it was a Vero. So let's try that. Oh, that was easier than expected. Okay. That's real easy. So, as I said, let's get to size comparisons so we can talk about this one. This is a Synapse Mini. They do make it in other sizes. And let's bring that card back out a minute. So, if we're talking about size comparisons, let's talk about it. So we have a couple different Vero designs here. And so we have the Synapse Mini that falls right here. And then the Mini Axon and the Neuron, which a lot of the Vero blades have this Warncliffe design, and this is a drop point. So you can see right here, just in the size comparison, this is the Synapse Mini, this is the Synapse. So this is kind of what you're getting a differential of, just maybe an inch or so. And then we go into the Axon, the Impulse, the Isotope, and the Synapse XL, which is the big boy over here. But as far as this one goes, my $2 bill is a little bent up, but let's go with, it's about the size of an American bill, because we had this Elementum right here. Let's take a look at that. We're in the same ballpark, right? And then here is a bug out. And because it's sitting right here, might as well just flick it out and show you. This is a Para 3. So it's all, sorry about the focus. This is all in the same ballpark of on the smaller side EDC blades. It's not a micro or anything. It's not something that's going to come off as a tiny knife. When I talk about a tiny knife, this is about as small as I want a blade, and this is the Wii Mote. And so it is a little guy, but this is about the smallest I want in a blade. I've seen some other little tiny ones that are like essentially box openers, right? They function in that fifth pocket knife, but this is about right for me. And like I said, I've been carrying this Caballero around a while, and we're kind of in that ballpark, right? It's the right size knife for my EDC tasks, wants, and needs. So, let's take a look at what we get out of this. This is a titanium bolster, and let's get close because there's some cool details here that we want to talk about. I don't know if the camera's going to pick all this up, but maybe at this angle. You see there is a milling. It's not textured, but you can still see the machine lines on there, and it looks kind of cool. I like it. The hardware here is stonewashed. And so the little lines just add a little bit of accent that your eyes can pick up. We end up with natural micarta on the handles, or the scales. I kind of would like this to be a little bit darker, but it'll get there with patina. But this is what natural micarta looks like. And on the back side, we end up with the pocket clip, which is not ultra deep carry. You're looking at, that sticking out of your pocket, which I wish it was a little more deep carry. Small complaint, but I do. So this is my personal choice. I like stonewash finishes. I've talked about this in other videos. I like a working finish. I like a finish that doesn't show scuffs and scrapes as I actually use it on a day-to-day basis. And so I end up with a stonewash on the blade, stonewash on the hardware, and stonewash on the clip, or the bolster and then the clip. That is exactly what I want. And I can already tell that this is going to make a impact on my daily rotation. As far as sharpness, it comes out of the box sharp. I'm not worried about that. With a high-end knife like this, if it wasn't going to come out sharp, then we'd have a problem. Jimping. We have the jimping right here on the back end, and it's not exactly functional jimping. I guess you could put it right here, but this is not a comfortable grip for me. My thumb, maybe it's just my hands are a little bit bigger, go up to here, which would, the branding on the knife is right here on the spine. let's talk about that. Yeah, Vero. So if they did increase the jimping out to a what I would consider a functional length, you lose that opportunity to put the branding on the spine. Not a big deal, just a thing. And so if I were to design this knife, I might consider maybe putting the Vero here and continue that jimping out to here. That way it's actually usable. You could use this, it's just maybe with smaller hands. The grip, let's see. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world. I'll just say that right out, because you have this big scoop out right here. And so you would think your fingers would go there, right? And so maybe I'm trying to choke up on it too much. Let's see. How do I? If I put my finger here in essentially the what is a choil here, I lose a full finger's worth of grip. Like, and I'm not hating on a 3-finger knife, like, but I would prefer it, since there is room for all 4 fingers, if there was a ergonomic way to grip this thing. But I'm almost having to put my finger right here on where the bolster is. And that's not terribly uncomfortable. I wouldn't want to work with this thing all day. It's one of the things that I've been enjoying about the Caballero, even though it is a small knife. Like, where I put my finger in this prescribed choil, I still get a full 4 fingers, and it's really solid and comfortable in the hand. This guy doesn't exactly offer that, because to get 4 fingers, I'm having to choke up onto the bolster, and then it leaves that my middle finger kind of like in limbo into this choil. And then, like I said, I could use this as like an EDC knife, but I don't think this would be a knife I'd want all day, every day, if I was doing a ton of cutting, because I'm just not finding the right grip that's comfortable. This is the most comfortable grip, and it does, like I said, my pinky or my middle finger is kind of in limbo. It doesn't lock in exceptionally well because the choils that, or the cutout is here, but like, this is the most comfortable grip that I can find. Interesting. I thought this would be a little bit more comfortable than that. Other than that, the edges around the micarta are knocked down. I don't feel a sharpness on them. There's a little point right here on the corner that I can feel, but that's not going to be a huge deal. Trying to find any other little hot spots. Not really. The lock bar, looks like we have good access to the lock bar. I do appreciate on a knife when there is some attention to detail made on the lock bar, and this has this little scalloped cutout, so it does give you a little bit of traction on your finger when you're reaching in there to push it over. You can catch that lip and get it pushed over pretty easy. So I appreciate that. Looking at the back of the knife, the blade comes pretty close to interacting with something that, I suppose. I don't know. Let's see. So let's take a look at this. So the sharp exposed edge of that blade is pretty close to where you could get a finger if you were to run it down. I think it's safe. It's just a little bit more exposed than I'd like it. I don't think I could ever like reach in my pocket and ever access it. So I can get it with my fingernail, but like getting my flesh there to get cut, like I said, it's a little too close for comfort, but at the same time, I don't think it's a problem. I don't think I could cut myself on that accidentally, like running my finger down the side of it. But it is interesting. The whole back is exposed. You can see the whole blade in there. That's kind of neat. If we're going to look inside, let's see if we got any cutouts or milling. Let's move up closer again. Focus. All right. So it doesn't, well, get it where you guys can see. It doesn't appear that there's any cutouts, any milling, any weight relief in there that I can see. No. Maybe if I shine, yeah, there we go. You can guys see that it's just a flat slab of titanium, which is good. In some respects, it's not a weighty knife. Like, it is a small knife to begin with, so weight relief probably wasn't a huge concern on this model, where like the Synapse XL, maybe you would want to get some weight relief. So we end up with, like I said, two opening mechanisms. You got the Spidey flick type of thing, which I've always wondered if this was sufficient enough with the cutout here, but it's more than sufficient. It's perfect. And then you have the little flipper tab, which a lot of times if I'm using a flipper tab, I almost use it like a top flipper, because with a top flipper you're going over the top and flicking the whole thing. Or with this, you just basically start back here and, well, of course I would mess it up on camera. Had my finger on the relief here, but yeah, just it's almost like a flicking like a Bic lighter. So I'll pull it out of my pocket, just flick it open, and then go to town. And this makes it very easy, because like it almost feels like a lighter, because the way that this tab is, like just a lighter flick gets it open and you can go to town. And it's a more natural position for me personally to do this, and I'm ready to use it, versus my fingers up here and then I have to reposition to get to a cutting angle. Just personal preference and just different way to do things. But yeah, this thing flicks well. It's sharp. It has let's take a look at the grind. We end up with a very serviceable sharpening choil. The plunge grind is far enough away over here that we're not impeding on the ability to sharpen this guy, which I very much appreciate as someone who uses their knives and does sharpen them. So we have a nice flat grind. It's a pretty high flat grind. I would love to see this in a hollow grind. I think that would be excellent for a little knife like this, to have a very slicey blade that is hollow ground. As far as hardware goes, so we have this pivot right here. I hope it's captured. Once we get to the disassembly and maintenance, we'll explore that further. But no keying on the show side. 2 screws here, 1 screw here. Again, we'll look and see. This screw may be holding in the pocket clip. I'm not sure yet. That's my suspicion. We have 1 screw that holds in the lock bar insert, and then of course our pivot. And we will get into which T size bits and all when we do the disassembly and maintenance, because out of the box it feels pretty good, but I have a suspicion that it could feel better. Like it feels like with just a little TLC and a little bit of extra lubrication on the bearings, that we will get a much smoother experience. But so far so good. I like it. My biggest complaint out of the box so far has been the grip. I think that having a little bit more work could be done for making this a more comfortable knife to grip in the hand. Like I said, this is the most comfortable grip for me, and it just feels weird that my middle finger doesn't contact the knife. Like I have contact here, here, and here, but my middle finger, like if I wanted to contact the knife, I'd have to like push it in like that, and that's not right. So ergonomics, I'm going to give this a little bit of a drop in score, but for everything else, aesthetics, mechanics, it's a phenomenal little guy. And so I want to give it some more time in the pocket. I want to give you guys a review of what it feels like to carry this thing around. But this has been a long time coming. I've been looking for one of these for about a year. Almost pulled the trigger on a few aftermarket ones, or secondhand ones, but they were as expensive as these knives are. I think this was right around $300. I want to get the configuration that I want, and I'm not going to settle for less. So this has been the unboxing and first impressions of the Mini Synapse. I really appreciate a like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much. I'm hoping to build a community here, and please sound off in the comments if you got one in this drop. Let me know if there's a configuration out there that you guys think is better than this one. So y'all have a great day, and I appreciate your support.